far are you going?
About 30 years.
Hey, what's up, guys? Back here with another video. Today we're gonna review Back to the Future, directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, and also produced by Bob Gale. It stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, Thomas F. Wilson, Claudia Wells, also Matt Crusher, Wendy Jo Spencer, and the movie was released on July 23rd, 1985. That's right, this year is the 40th anniversary of this movie. And today is October 21st, which is Back to the Future Day. So what better day to review this movie than today? I always wanted to talk about this movie. I've wanted to review this movie for a while. It is one of my favorite movies. If you guys can see, you can see my poster behind me, wearing the t-shirt. I collect some stuff for this movie, like I have the NECA figures, the 9 figures they release. I have a couple different releases of this. It's the 4K right here. Back to the Future for me, it's I don't know, it's a classic. It's a movie that from my side, I fell in love with it. You know, I have a story on how I first saw this movie. My brother was sick at home with the chicken pox from school, so he borrowed a bunch of movies from my cousin. Back to the Future was one of these. This is when we lived in Mexico. We lived there for like 5 years. My cousin had an American release of Back to the Future on VHS. It looked just, it's not the exact tape, but it looked just like this. And I remember I put the movie in my VCR and I fell in love with it. And from that moment on, I would borrow the movie from my cousin from time to time. And until he let me keep it, I just fell in love with this. Eventually, I saw the sequels, and I really love part 2 as well. And part 3 too. You know, it's a trilogy. I can watch all 3 movies back to back to back. You know, it's just one of those movie trilogies I never get tired of. And the casting was perfect. You know, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Crispin Glover, Leah Thompson, Thomas F. Wilson, and these characters. You know, they just did it perfectly. Basically, the plot of the movie is about Marty McFly, this teenager who is kind of irresponsible, so he's late for class, you know, and he has his friend, played by Christopher Lloyd, Dr. Evan Brown, who's a scientist. He has his girlfriend Jennifer, and you know, Doc invents the time machine, you know, with plutonium that he steals from some Leviates, and Marty accidentally gets sent back in time 30 years, you know, and before that would be his family. His family is not exactly the perfect family. They had problems. His parents don't necessarily love each other. It seems like his mom only went out with him because she felt sorry for him. So we get all this dialogue, which is brilliant, and during the scene where they're eating dinner, they kind of foreshadowing what you're going to see in the film later on. And you know, Marty goes back to the 1950s. He accidentally interfered with his parents' meeting, and he changes future events. And you know, it's just such a fun movie. Excuse me. And you know, just everything was done. You know, the setting in the 1950s looks perfect. You feel like you're watching a movie from the 1950s. When he goes back there, everything feels like the 1950s. Just seeing everything that was talked about during the dinner scene play out once he goes back in time. You know, and also at the same time, he's trying to warn Doc what was going to happen to him in the future, you know, trying to save his life. But Doc doesn't want to know too much about his own future because he could jeopardize their occurrence. You know, so I'll say, you know, so Doc just doesn't want to know too much about his future, but he's trying to help Marty get back in time, you know, back to his own time. But at the same time, Marty needs to make sure his parents meet and fall in love, so to save his own existence and his siblings' existence. Because the picture that he has starts to fade away. They're starting to fade away because things are changing. So basically, you know, while Doc tries to figure out how to send him back, you know, Doc trying to figure out something back in 1985 when he's trying to save his own existence against parents to meet, but things get complicated because his mom actually has a crush on him. She falls for him because he's the one that gets hit by the car. So It's a lot of mess. It's a classic movie. You know, the DeLorean Time Machine, such a classic vehicle that they became so known around the world. You know, it's just this film and everything they went through to get this movie done. You know, all the production done. A lot of studios did not want to get the movie made. They didn't believe in the script until Universal gave Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale the chance, and doing the movie. You know, they went through a lot of scripts, a lot of drafts to finally get the movie that we know. And actually, as you guys know, Michael J. Fox originally was not going to play Marty. It was Eric Stoltz. They filmed almost the whole movie with Eric Stoltz, but they just did not like how it was turning out with him. They didn't feel the chemistry there. Just didn't, and also he was having a problem with some of these cast members, in particular, Thomas F. Wilson. He said that Eric Stoltz was too rough with him during the scene in the school cafeteria when they're kind of fighting. He was kind of grabbing his collarbone way too hard, so there's just too many issues. Bob's didn't feel like he was the right choice, so they spoke with the producers of Family Ties to get Michael J. Fox, because they did it before, but they said it was impossible. So, but they talked to them again, so they managed to work it out. So Michael J. Fox had to film the Family Ties in the morning. In the afternoon, he went to the studio, Universal Studios, to film Back to the Future. So he barely got any sleep or any break. It was a tough time. You know, it's a lot of work. So, you know, kudos to Michael J. Fox for that. That might be part of the reason for his Parkinson's, the lack of sleep. But it was a lot of work. But they managed to work it out. They got Michael J. Fox, and he was just perfect. Along with Christopher Lloyd's Doc, cannot mention anybody else in those two roles. And the same thing with Crispin Glover as George McFly. He's so perfect. You know, such a shame he didn't come back for the sequence, but he's perfect in the role. Thomas F. Wilson as Biff. You know, he played the perfect bully. When the men get introduced to him at the beginning of the movie, you know, the older Biff, and seeing him back in the past, you know, you can see he's been bullying George McFly since they were young, and it just plays the role so perfectly. Leah Thompson was Lorraine McFly. She's just so perfect in that role. You know, everything in the movie is so great. The guys played the musicians and the enchantment dance were so perfect. Even the small role of Clyde was his Jennifer. Even though she was very little, she did it great. Marty's siblings, it's so perfect. Every scene, every shot, everything was done so perfect. You know, the bunch believe in this project and they got it done. And you know, 40 years later, we are still talking about this movie in this trilogy. For me, it was just perfect. And just checking my notes real quick. So yeah, everything's just perfect about this movie. The poster, by the way, rest in peace to the artist who made this poster, and he recently passed away. You know, he made posters for this, Deanna Jones, and a couple other films. May he rest in peace. Such a perfect poster. I love it. It's the reason why I have it behind me. And these movies, you know, every former day release, and I pick them up. You know, put them on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K. And I know Universal just released another release of this for the 40th anniversary. Introducing this individual case. Part of me kind of wish I would have waited for that, but the thing is, you know, you never know. Still have a couple new extras. Don't know if I can be picking that up or not. Maybe if it has a good price, maybe I will, because I could collect some different releases of this movie. But anyway, but yeah, it's such a classic to me. And it's a movie that if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you see it. You know, I recommend you see all three of these films, because it's just movies that you have to watch if you like time traveling. To me, some movies they have tested the test of time. They visually look better than a lot of current movies, which is incredible for a movie that came out in 1985. You know, movies today should, with all the technology they have, they should look 10 times better than these. And they can't do it. You know, these still look better. And we haven't gotten any remakes or anything, because Bob Gale, Robert Zemeckis, they have the rights to this. You know, Universal has the distribution rights, you know, to release all the like the physical media releases, the merchandise and all that, but they don't have the rights to make any new material. You know, they can release merchandise and new release of the 3 movies that already exist in the animated series, which they made, which is pretty good. Not perfect, but it's pretty good. I recommend you watch that animated series as well. They have all the rights set, but they can't make any new material because Bob's don't want to. They have tried to get their permission, but they don't trust them to make something good, so they have stayed there over their dead bodies. So we're not gonna get anything new as long as they're alive. But you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that because these movies are just perfect. I don't trust these studios and these writers and producers to make a good remake or anything good with these. So I'm perfectly fine with this trilogy. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, that is my review of Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies. So if you've just seen the movie, what do you guys think of it? And what would you guys rate the movie? I'm gonna get the movie an A+, just perfect. To me, it's a movie that I can watch over and over and over. And you know, just if you guys haven't seen them, go ahead and give them a watch. But anyways, that is it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think about these reviews. If you guys want to see more reviews, I have a lot of other reviews that I have planned for this, and I have decided I'm just gonna do classic reviews, like classic movies, instead of new ones. You know, I feel like there's already a lot of people on YouTube who do reviews of current movies. I feel like for me it would be more fun to review classic films, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I have plenty more coming. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Hasta la vista, baby.